Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate for Tuesday night, January the 6th. I'm your host, Clay Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. Like I said, for Tuesday, January the 6th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Nice to see everyone here. I see people at least listed here as Bruce, Dino, Fangirl, Jessica, Harry, Simon. I know Yrvin was poking around in the chat a little bit earlier. So welcome to everyone. Welcome to everyone that is here. And Russell is here. Oh man, that's sad. Vancouver and Abbotsford with matching 5-3 losses. Did you, with the early show, did you go double dipper tonight? Russell, that is pretty amazing. Your stamina is, Justin's here, is very much to be admired. Today, I have to go back to my roots, and I have to get to my church by 12. You know how I moved my hour to 1 so I didn't have to rush off these streams, especially after bowling. Well, bowling doesn't start till next week, so I didn't bowl tonight. I just did some other work after the Canucks game. But I do have to be at my church by 12 tonight because sadly, the person who I swapped with, the person who does 12 a.m. midnight, her mother passed away, so she had to fly home to tend to the funeral arrangements and things like that. So basically, instead of her trying to find a replacement at 12, which as you can imagine is very hard to do, I told her I will take her shift and then half of my regular shift. And then the 2 o'clock guy will come half an hour early. So if this makes sense to you, and if you care, I'm going to be at my church from 12 to 1:30. So 90 minutes today, not 60 minutes. And then Scott, who usually comes at 2 a.m., is going to take half of my shift, 1:30, and go to his usual end time of 3. So basically, two of us are splitting up the extra hour, so to speak, in that, two of us will cover 3 hours. So that was my long way of saying is I do have to finish off between 11:40 and 11:45 tonight. You did do both. There was some excitement, but a good night for the Tankers, yes. And Teresa Yrvin has not been there in a while, so we will see if she is there tonight. Now that you mention it, now that I've highlighted it, it's almost a foregone conclusion that she will be there tonight. Awesome. Okay, let's talk about tonight's game. Before I do that, moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thanks for your support. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, with my beautiful neighborhood of Swervin Yrvin, Richmond, in the city, lower mainland, province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here with me, know how much I always appreciate you, know how much I never, ever take you for granted. So this is how you get involved tonight. Subscribe to the channel, get active in the chat section, get notified of my videos. You can like the video, like the fact that we're together, like the fact that the Canucks almost won, but like the fact that they didn't, and they didn't get any points. So near the bottom of the standings, they stay. You can leave a donation, get the donation train out of the station, gift a membership, buy your own membership, upgrade your membership, use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, you can rate and review. So let's get started right away by going to the Edge Goal Visualizer. And the first goal, I want your opinion. Let me show it first, and then I'll get your opinion. So everything looks fine. 5-on-5. Here we go. Then we got Owen Power. Then Bowen Byron hits it. And then Tage Thompson. So Tage Thompson is basically, Marcus Pettersson is doing his best to fight off Tage Thompson. Look in the point as the two defensemen, Power and Byram, move the puck around for the Sabres. So, everything's fine. Everyone's covering someone, right? But then I think the puck, Byram hits it here. But then really, while there's all these stuff going around, it looks like there's a lot of people around Tage Thompson here just because of the way that the circles make players look bigger. But when you watch the replay, it looked like Tage Thompson was all alone in front. And then you realize Tage Thompson is massive. I think, isn't he 6'7" or something like that? And so not only is he a big guy, but he's got a massive reach, obviously. So he can cover picture like 12 or 13 feet right around him. So when I first saw this, I thought that Marcus Pettersson did a horrible job defensively. Then I remembered that Tage Thompson is 8 feet tall, and no one, unless you're his height, no one can handle him, especially when he's kind of moving to his forehand side, protecting the puck. And so not only is Pettersson much smaller than him, but he was on his weak side. Like he was on his backhand side. So there's no way that he was going to stop Thompson. And it was a quick shot. What can you say? It was a great shot. So the dots appear larger than normal. Interesting. So what do you think? A 6'6"? Thank you, Harry. So would you say, very quickly, next 30 seconds, do you think Marcus Pettersson could have played this better, or do you chalk it up to 9 foot tall? He grows a foot every time I talk about him. 6'6" Tage Thompson. Let me know. No, Fangirl, good question. But no, you can't just make that matchup all the time, especially when we are the away team. So what do you think? What do you guys think? Do you think that Thompson? Yeah, I know he's not 8 feet tall. Come on, work with me here. Work with me. Do you think that Marcus Pettersson could have played that better, or do you think that was just tough? You're playing against a 6'6" guy who's got really good hands. Let me know, but I just don't like how early this goal came. 2 minutes and 1 second in. So 1-0 Buffalo. Then this is probably a backbreaker early. 9 minutes later, it's a Canucks power play. And Besser, like, it looks like there's a lot of time here. Besser, by the way, Harry says, I think Marcus Pettersson should have had a stick. Garland would have won that puck battle. So Besser back to Sherwood. Everything looks fine, but then Sherwood has trouble handling this puck. And oh, by the way, I'll just say this. Connor says, I think Thompson is just better in general. Not much Marcus Pettersson can do. That's why Sabres fans talk so much about him, as well as Darlene. That makes sense. So Sherwood bobbles the puck, and then Alex Tuck is off to the races. Alex Tuck's fast for a big guy, and he's got Samuelson with him. 2-on-1. I would have liked, actually, Verlander to stay on. Well, it's kind of tough. He's got no help. But I kind of want Verlander to stay on Samuelson, because aren't you supposed to take even on if it's shorthanded power play, whatever, on a 2-on-1, aren't you supposed to take away the pass? Anyways, Verlander then gets the puck gets past him, and then Demko has no chance as McLeod puts it in. So this is just really unfortunate. It looked like the Canucks were fine to start off the play. Rings around Besser to Sherwood. And then, yeah, he could have gone to Verlander here and swung that way, but instead he bobbles the puck, and it's a 2-on-1. And they're fast, right? Tuck and McLeod are both fast, and then they execute it perfectly. And now it's 2-0 Buffalo. Then the 3-0 goal. This one was a little bit weird in that very scrambling. Look at all these weird, short, quick touches. No one can get the puck. Finally, Byron skates it all the way down, goes around O'Connor. Not sure what P.O. Joseph is doing here. Okay, he's going to him. But then Sherwood and everyone forgets about Alex Tuck over here. And by the time, Canucks get beat on this so much. And sometimes it's Sherwood. Sherwood's not the best defensively now that I think about it. He seems to be, he didn't have a great game today. But as I was saying, this was all, scramble. And then you got Bowen Byram getting a step on O'Connor. Then Joseph tries, I think Joseph thinks he's got backside help for sure. And then he doesn't. And Alex Tuck makes it 3-0 for Buffalo. Then, and even my lovely wife Gail said, how come guys get their first of their careers against us? I said, good. So this is Zach Metza. So this goal is a little bit aggravating because they look, I thought Myers was going to screw up here, but then he gets back to his guy, and P.O. Joe says his guy. But then Evander Kane is the one who gets on the wrong side of his guy. You got to be between your player and the net, but Evander Kane's behind him. And a nice centering pass from Malenstein goes to Metsä, and Metsä puts it past Demko. Now it's 4-0. 4-0 with only 14 minutes to go, and Tankists are celebrating the land. But not so fast, Tankist, because first, DeBrusk, didn't he get a nailed bleeding nose? And then he comes back out on the second unit power play, or first unit power play, and he puts it in. So Besser, Sherwood whacks at it, and DeBrusk puts the rebound home. Power play goal, 4-1. Then, 5 minutes later, it's EP40. A little bit sort of like the Thompson goal, except he's not 6'6", but a scramble play, and a nice pass from Besser bounces in the middle, and Petey just turns around and he whips it past Pekka Luukkonen. So now it's 4-2. Nice goal by Petey there. And then just 40 seconds after that, Olgren, Connor Cahill's favorite player, takes the pass here from Marcus Pettersson, just skates down and shoots it right between Sasson's legs. And now it's 4-3. And if you're a Tankist, you're like, what's going on? If you want the Canucks to win every game, you're excited. I know Jacob, Doodle and I, Doodle Hockey, we were texting each other, blah, blah, blah. This is crazy. And then, stop me, you heard this before. I say there's been about 2 or 3 times now where the Canucks either they pull the goalie a tad too early because they don't. Well, I don't. It's not Demko's fault. It's not the coach's fault. I think they're expecting a better play in the zone. So what happens? Look, Demko's still in the net. EP40 dumps it in. So far, so good. Or actually, technically, he gets the puck dislodged, but at least he's got momentum. Maybe I would have loved to see him shoot it in. He's a lefty, right? He could shoot it in along the boards and then have Hronek. But for whatever reason, he gets checked a little bit. But still, you still need more pressure on this puck. Whether it's Besser. How far behind was Besser? I know he's not that fast. Yeah, Besser should have been skating hard and given PD an option. But instead, he doesn't. And then Josh Jones, way faster, scores basically from his own goal line, loops it up. And then DeBrusk, who's coming on for Demko, can't get back in time. So literally 5 seconds after the Canucks pull their goalie, they give up the goal, and their chances of a miracle comeback are snuffed out. We outshot them. This is an interesting thing. We outshot them 14-9. Although I felt like, and a lot of that came on that first power play where the Canucks were whipping around, they couldn't score. But I felt like Buffalo had the way better chances. So 14-9 in the first, 7-7, then 14-4. So we outshot them 35-20. But that's almost a 2-1 advantage. But I don't know about you. It didn't feel like that we outplayed them by that margin. But the fancy stats do bear it out. I'll get to that in a sec. So 35-20 for shots, 54-46 for them for faceoffs. Our power play was good, 1-for-4. And we killed off their 1. Hits were equal. They had more block shots. And they sweep. Buffalo sweeps the season series, which can't remember ever saying that before. Look at the box score. And then, what do you think of this? Besser, 2 points, 2 assists, 3 shots, 1 block, 1 hit. So he has all the hustle stats, but he's a -3. He's a -3. Petey and Sherwood are -2. DeBrusk and Kane. So everyone's a oh no, Carlson, Ogren are +1. So maybe if you're a Swedish bottom 6 player, you get a positive. So Petey has a goal, Sherwood has an assist, DeBrusk has a goal, Ogren has a goal, Carlson has an assist. Ice time, Hyman was Besser 1830, Petey 1840, and then Kane 1811, and they were reunited as a line in the second period. Lohman, actually pretty spread out. Lohman was Hoglander at 11, and then Ratu had 12. And then you look at the shots, 6 for Sherwood. Okay, so maybe he didn't have a bad game. 6 shots and 4 hits, but I just didn't like his play on 2 of the 5 goals. A lot of shots, obviously. 3 for Besser, 3 for Petey, 6 for Sherwood, 4 for DeBrusk, 3 for Kane, 4 for Ogren, 3 for Carlson. So a lot of players had shots. Not sure David Kemp. He's got no shots, no blocks, but he was named to the Czechia roster. And in terms of block shots, no one with more than 1. And then hits, we had Sherwood with 4. On D, Hronik and Marcus Pettersson get points. Hronik still playing strong, 26 minutes, leads the defenseman. Very spread out this time. P.O. Joseph with 1530. Bovenlander with 1640. Myers with 1626. Surprised to see him so low. But obviously, Hronik and Bouillon had the lion's share of minutes as our de facto first pairing. No more than a shot. 2 blocks for P.O. Joseph and 2 hits for Marcus Pettersson. Demko, these stats don't look good. 789, right? 4 goals on 19 shots. But do you feel like Thompson one he couldn't stop? There's one backdoor one, 2 on 1, and then there was the last one by that Metza guy. I don't know. Maybe he could have stopped that one, but not blaming Demko. But that stat line does not look very good, admittedly. Now the other thing I was going to say is I was driving home from somewhere, so I was listening to the first period, and it sounded like the Buffalo had a lot of high danger chances. It sounded like Demko made a lot of really good saves to keep the team in it early, and it sounded like Buffalo was dominating the play. But then I look at the fancy stats, and I can show it to you right now. You look at the fancy stats, and the fancy stats show that. So this is natural stat trick, and Buffalo's up here, Canucks are down here, and this is at 5-on-5. Corsi 4, that's all shots, including ones that missed the net, shot attempts. We had more 46 to 41, so 53%. And then Fenwick takes away shots that missed the net, if I'm not mistaken. Fenwick only counts shots that either hit the net or are blocked. So we have 56. Naturally, unless the team blocks like 100 shots, Corsi and Fenwick are very similar. So we have 56 Fenwick, and then Buffalo is 44. Then scoring chances for, we beat them 56% to 43%, which is impressive. And then high danger chances for 10-7. And then expected goals for 206 to 181. So we basically dominated all the fancy stats, but I was a tiny bit surprised, admittedly, because I thought that the Canucks, were dominated, but I guess not. And then you look at individual players, Hronik, O'Connor, and Kampf. Like when we outshoot them by so much, you'd expect most of our team were over 50%. The only ones that were below were DeBrusk, Pettersson, P.O. Joseph, Ogren, and Ratu. Yeah, so interesting how I was surprised. Like when I saw this, I'll put it this way: watching with my eyes, I was surprised that the Canucks dominated the fancy stats. But I guess that goes hand in hand with their shots on goal, and only the second period was even. The Canucks actually dominated shots on goal in the first and third periods. Okay, let me do a Mitchell sponsor read, and then I'll turn it over to you for about 20 minutes. Like I said, a bit of a quicker show tonight, and I'll get to some of your comments. But once I come back from my Mitchell sponsor read. So let's go. We always start off by thanking my primary sponsor, and that of course is Jason Lim of Van City Experts. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Thank you to my secondary sponsors. The first one is Gassy Jack Art, creator of the wonderful artwork that you see in my home studio. Check them out at gassyjackart.com. We have Mulligan Golf Company, mlgngolf.com for all of your golfing apparel and accessories. And we have Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Thanks to everyone who's purchased Canuck Clay merch. You can check it out at canuckclay.threadless.com. A reminder how you get involved tonight. You can subscribe to the channel. You get active in the chat section. You can like the video, leave a donation, be the first to get the donation train out of the station. You can gift a membership, buy your membership, upgrade your membership, use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, you can rate and review. I'm looking at my fictional leaderboard right now. And right now, Fangirl's ahead with 450, followed by Skytrain Alfred at 300, Simon at 200, and then a bunch of you at 75 points. So Fangirl atop the leaderboard. Good job, Fangirl. And finally, my shows this week. I did not do open mic after Canucks After Dark last night, so I'm moving that to tomorrow. So open mic tomorrow night at 11. Just happy to have you guys on. And then CCC postgame show on Thursday. And that will be, and then no stream Friday, Saturday. And then on Thursday, I'll share my schedule for the next week, which will be basically Sunday morning and Sunday evening. All right, friends. I want to hear what you thought about tonight's game. So if you put stuff above, just retype it, copy and paste, do whatever you want. Not sure if this is Jordan or birthday boy Witten. If it's Witten, happy birthday. If it's Jordan, greet Witten a happy birthday for me. If we keep Sherwood, which veteran would you trade? We can't keep everyone, especially where we stand. I know there's a slightly more momentum around this notion of keeping Sherwood, but I still think ultimately he gets traded. I think you have to trade him. And but to answer your question, if you're keeping Sherwood, then you have to trade. You have to trade your UFAs, Kane, Bluger, Kemp, and Forbert. Not sure how much you're going to get for those guys, but you got to trade them. And then you could get off of one of Demko or Garland's contract. I think Best's got a no move already, but I'm pretty sure that Demko and Garland do not have no move clauses yet. Let me just check that real quick. Yeah, Bester's got a no move. Garland does not have any trade protection for this season only, and same with Demko. So it's actually Garland or Demko are the ones. Do you think Kane is worth a 4th to 7th round pick in a trade? No, that's not a stretch. You give me quite a range there, because I wouldn't say 1st or 2nd, but maybe you could get a mid-round pick for him, and you got to retain a bit of salary. Hey, Harry, do you think the Canucks could have had a better result tonight if Garland, Bluger, Rossi, and Hito were in the lineup or full health? Yeah, that's a good question. And when you think about it, that's a good point. That's 4 top 9 forwards or 4 top 12. 3 of those. Start again. 3 of those guys are top 9, and then Bluger. Yeah, I think you have those guys in the lineup. You have a better chance of winning for sure. Just do karaoke tomorrow because talking Canucks is depressing. Well, if someone wants to sing for their 3 minutes, they're more than welcome to. Connor says he's concerned about DPD. He's been struggling, learning, and hopefully improve his game. I just think Foot would not help his cause. Yeah, not a lot of love for Foot right now. Of all the Canucks, UFA, Sherwood, Kane, Bluger, Kemp, and Forbert, who comes back next year? None. Sadly, I think Forbert might be done, but I don't know that for sure. I think they're going to trade Sherwood and Kane. I don't think there's a spot for Bluger on this team if they want Ratu and Sasan, right? And you still have Hito, Rossi, and PD. So I don't think there's a spot for Bluger on this team. Ditto for Kemp. I don't think any of those guys are back next year, to be honest with you, Skytree Alfred. If we're trying to tank, we need to trade a few of our most valuable older guys for picks, including Sherwood. I agree. Should be playing, send him to Abbotsford if that's what they want to do. Yeah, P.O. Joseph doesn't do anything for me. After seeing us get swept by Buffalo and with the Leafs starting to find their game again, what is your prediction for the remaining 5 games on the trip? I'll say 1-3-1. Yeah, for the 6th game, I actually said the Canucks would go 4-1-1 or 3-2. No. I only predicted the first 4 games, and I said 2-1-1. For the rest of this trip, I think they'll find a way to win half them. I still think they're going to finish 3-3 or 3-2-1. I really do. I think they're going to win 3 of these 6 games somehow, some way. By the way, which reminds me, I actually forgot to go through the scores and standings. Let me do that really, really quick because I do like to do that. So scores tonight. Wow. How come Colorado keeps losing now? Although Tampa is good. The Ducks lose. They're coming back to earth. Stars lose. What's going on? Everyone in the West is losing here. What? 9-0? I didn't see this. That's bad. Toronto beats Florida. That's interesting. The Jets get a point. The Oilers win. Connor McDavid hat-trick. Sharks win. Well, and the Kraken win. Oh. So if you want the Canucks to make the playoffs, this is not a good night for you. Because let's go league first. Oh, we're still 2 ahead of Winnipeg, but they have 1 game in hand. So let's look at the wild card. Yeah. So this, I think this may have sealed the Canucks' fate. Although it's only one game, you could say there. You know my theory. Within 6 points, you have a chance. 7 or more, it's a little tough. So now the Canucks are 8 behind, but at least no one has games in hand on them, except for Winnipeg and LA. Well, Seattle's up to 3rd in our division. They suck. What's going on? Oh, look, we actually have a team that doesn't have a negative goal differential in the Pacific now. Is Edmonton? They're even, but yes, we are 8 points out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 teams to pass. Not looking very, very good. Okay, back to you guys. Which Canuck do you want to see fight next, and against who? You see Reeves get dropped today. That was weird. Let's go. Who would I want to see fight? Do we have any fighters on our team? Garland likes to fight. I don't know. Maybe I want to see if there's a guarantee that they won't get hurt. I want to see what Philip Hronik can. He can pretend like the other player is a media member and just pound the crap out of it. No, I don't know. I'd love to see a Hronik fight. Who else do I think would be good in a fight? I don't know. We don't have a lot of good fight. I wonder what Sherwood would be like in a fight. Doesn't really matter who, as long as we win the fight. Hey, Tyler, game wasn't worth watching much until the 3rd. Any word on Lekharamaki's injury? I want to see him up before the season is done. I didn't even know he was injured. I didn't even know Lekharamaki was injured. Hey, Joe, nice to see you. It's a race to the bottom between 2 of my favorite Canadian teams. Yeah, they're 2 of my favorite teams, period. Not even Canadian. They're my 2 favorite teams. Of course, Vancouver a lot higher than Winnipeg. Tage Thompson's 1.98 meters. Yes, I know we're metric in Canada, but that doesn't do anything for me. Well, 2 meters does sound very tall, but yeah, 6'6" I heard. Yrvin and Connor Green send DPD down and let him rejuvenate himself. That's some great 4C depth. Yeah, with all those names mentioned. If you're presuming Hito's healthy, you're going PD, Rossi, Hito, and then there's Camp, Bluger, Sasan, and Ratu. Let's say you kept Sherwood. What is the argument to do so? Well, I think his play speaks for itself. He's fast. He hits everything. He's got a quick release. Not the best defensively, as I brought up, but a lot of energy, and he cares. He actually gives a crap. So there's all that. We know what he's like on the ice. I think if you can, and I don't. This is the whole point of why they're going to trade him. I think if you get him for 4.5 max for 3 or 4 years, I would do that. I would not do more than 4 years because he's already 30 years old. I would not do more than $4.5 million. So that's my argument for doing so. I just don't think it's very, very realistic. Yeah, Kampf did make the Czechia team. Him and Hronik for sure. When do you think Sherwood gets traded? They haven't until trade deadline, but they were management waits too long, like Benning to make a move. How he blocked Ham Houston for Bada. Yeah, I think if, presuming that they don't work out a deal, I think he gets traded. Parker and I talked about this yesterday. I think he gets traded before the Olympic break. Not in the next couple of weeks, but I think he gets traded before the Olympic break. We need leadership. Sherwood can provide that perfectly until the next captain to step up from the Gen Z crowd. Very good. Very good. When would be the best time to trade Sherwood before Olympic break? I think so. The Islanders brought back the 80s tonight, and they scored 9 goals. Petey looked good, and Besser tried. Got 2 assists. Besser got 2 assists, but was a -3. Is weird. What do you think about Vancouver and Carolina doing trade? I believe it when I see it, Simon. Losing Landeskog has been a massive problem for the Avs. Yes, that is not great. Will he be back? Maybe not for Olympics, but will he be back for the end of the season? Do the Canucks trade all the UFAs pre-Olympic roster freeze? I think you'll get more the earlier you trade, because then that receiving team has that player for longer. But I think that only applies to Sherwood, to be honest with you. Check out the shot counts for that 9-0 game. Okay, I'm clicking into it right now. What? New Jersey had 44 shots and the Islanders had 24. Yet the Islanders scored on 9 of their 24 shots. And it was Markstrom. Oh my gosh, I gotta watch. Like I must admit, I kind of like seeing Markstrom get lit up, so I'll go watch the highlights later. Who do you think will return back to the lineup for Garland, Bluger, Rossi, and Hedel? In order, well, it sounds like Bluger and Hedel went on the road trip with them, but I thought Garland was only going to be a week. Yeah, I don't know what order. I'm still going to go Garland, Bluger, Hedel, and Rossi in that order. I don't know. Devils needs a Canucks player since getting the Hughes reunion might not happen. Demko didn't look very good. Yeah, no, I think it's because you missed the first period. Demko, his stats weren't great, but he made some amazing saves in the first period for sure. Evander Kane fights. Sherwood can fight. Kane can fight. That's all fair. I'm waiting for that Capitals game at Rogers Arena. Yes, you got that for free. Ogren has the same amount of goals as Canuck as he did in 2.5 seasons from Minnesota. Wow. He's putting my number on the map. Yes, you are a fan of 92. You were born the year I graduated. So I'm 18 years older than you, Connor. What's your opinion about Abbotsford these days? They're bad, but it's because they don't have any players, right? Sure to begin the fight by slapping his opponent with that white glove of his. Yes, he wears those gloves for his eczema, right? I challenge you to a duel. Extremely serious and hard-nosed player that commands hard work and grit. They need to watch videos of what he brings to the ice. I'm not sure who you're talking about anymore. Did you see Zegras phone call hang up? No. And Justin, what's that referring to? What's the phone call hang up? What's that referring to? Let me know. Jets versus Senators is a great matchup even before Logan sacked Brady. I heard, but I didn't see that. King isn't a great first liner. He more of a second or third. Agreed. Inspires the young players to play well in the right way. Are we still talking about Sherwood? Do you feel Ogren, if developed the right way, could be what we hope Zach Cassian? Yeah, I've never thought about that comparable, but I think Ogren is gonna be a star. It was cool. I was telling my son Jacob how about Leckermacki, Ogren, and Otland all playing for the same team and all getting drafted within 5 picks of each other. There are a bunch of Gen Zs that need their bigger brother, and Sherwood is perfect for that role. Hey, Rev Trev, go Canucks, go. Let's win the draft lottery. Yeah, that's what we could be cheering for now. 9-0 game, 9 goals on 24 shots. New Jersey had 44, and Sorokin got the shutout. Declared 5 points, and it had a crazy. If the playoffs were start today, I think it's Tampa. It's Tampa versus Colorado, rematch of a few years ago. Still too talented to win the lottery. Well, talent has nothing to do with winning the lottery, but I hear what you're saying. You're saying they're too talented to be like right at the bottom, right? Hi, Levi. I do not have an argument to play P.O. Joseph instead of DPD unless they think that DPD is struggling. But I still haven't seen what P.O. Joseph can bring, honestly. Did anyone see Shesterkin's injury? Am I so crazy to think I saw some hyperextension? I have not seen it, but that does not sound good. Markstrom explicitly apologized to his fans and teammates. Okay, I got to watch that. Who would be some surprise teams in the West? No surprises. The 3 central teams are a gauntlet for sure. Do I think Archie Baines will get some playing time, or do you think he'll be sent down again once Rossi is back? Yeah, I don't know who you bring him in for right now, to be honest with you. Which coach or management do you want to see fight? Foot versus Tocchet? Alvin versus... I don't want to see Rutherford fight because something bad might happen. Foot versus Tocchet might be fun, actually. 2 rugged players. How shocked are you about the Jets? Completely shocked. Remind me of the Sedin's last run in terms of not being able to produce elite talent. The Jets should not. They shouldn't be this bad at all. Markstrom playing like he did in Vancouver, from contender to last. I'm not convinced that Foot comes back next year, but then we'll be on our 5th coach, right? Skytrain Alfred in the house. I know that's Alfred's favorite dono drop. Thank you, Skytrain Alfred, for using your monthly membership message. 42 months. Kyle Wellwood months. Do you think the Canucks will trade Demko? No, I don't. I could see the reasoning why, especially, he's got no trade protection, but I do not see him getting traded. Let's give Skytrain Alfred some love. No, Simon's just a friendly guy. All good. I got Besser as my next captain. Are you going to that Capitals game on the 21st? No, because it's a Wednesday night. That is my religious education night. Ziegler scored against his former team and sullied by making a phone call and hang up fast. After the game, he said it was as fast as the trade call he had with the... Oh, because Philly was playing Anaheim, right? That's funny. That is funny. I used to admire his playing ability, but literally what Justin Bieber was... He's literally what Bieber was 10 years ago, a total man-child. You guys talking about Zegras? All good, Simon. Back in the 90s, which hockey preview magazine would you read by? Didn't actually read them. I was so cheap that I would kind of look at it on the newsstand or whatever, but I wouldn't actually buy any of them. I'm doing great. How are you? Nice to see you, Bobby. Hope you're doing well. All right, friends, I got 4 more minutes, so pack in those questions for the next 4 minutes. Zegras reeks of immaturity. Yeah. Rarely do you see a Sully that refers to, anything like that. It's kind of funny, but yeah. When is my next members AMA video? Well, I will post for questions this weekend. I actually forgot to do it last weekend, given the hustle and bustle of whatever. But yes, I will do, per my schedule, I'm going to do them hopefully every Monday, but I need questions for those videos. Do you think McKenna will drop down draft time? Is his character questionable? No, I don't think, I haven't heard anything about McKenna's character. I've just heard a little bit about his impact away from the puck, but I haven't heard anything bad about his character. Nothing that I think should scare any teams off from drafting him. Dvorak, 5-year extension with the Flyers, will make less than what he's making this year. Doesn't bode well for Sherwood's contract. Yeah. Yeah, I know the Canucks wanted him too. I think Dvorak's a good player. When do you think a new captain will be named? Yeah, I think started next year. Foote says the team needs to calm down and clean stuff up to maintain his wins and need preparation in the first period in his postgame. Yes, I saw that, Edison. And isn't that coaching? Next open mic is tomorrow. He said we're not prepared for first periods. Yeah, that's a coaching thing. Are people starting to overthink that coming draft? Nobody noticed it. Yeah, I think Verhoev has dropped a little bit. And in reading Scott Wheeler stuff for The Athletic, he's going Stenberg. And I think it's going to be between Stenberg and McKenna still. Would the World Juniors turned out were in the lottery? McKenna or Stenberg, who's your pick? That's a good question. They're different types of players, right? I don't know. I still, it's so tough to say. Maybe I have a slight leaning towards McKenna still, but only very slight. I'd be happy with either. Let's just say I'd be happy if we were one of the top 2 picks. That's for sure. Dino and Mena with the dono. Let's give some love to Dino and Mother Mena in the chat. A massive $28 donation. I appreciate you. Always making the time to be here. Thank you once again, Dino and Mena. All right, last 2 minutes, so I gotta go fast. People thinking we shouldn't draft for position. People thinking we should draft for position, not best player available. Yes, can't do that. You got to go BPA for sure. Zebulium will be the biggest selling jersey starting this summer. I could see it. He's going to be good. He's been okay so far, but he's going to be good. If you're given the chance to pick first overall from this year's, right now I'm still McKenna over Stenberg, but very, 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 very slightly. I would be fine with either. Are you concerned that Patrick O'Vine might trade away the first round pick that we got from Minnesota for a younger player? No, I think they've learned. I think they know that this is a good draft, even though that pick will be, bottom third of the first round. It's still, I guess maybe you could use it as capital too, but I'm not concerned about it, to be honest with you. If Canucks draft high, Stenberg and hopefully extra picks can get McKenna. Oh, imagine if they get both. Awesome. See you tomorrow. Biggest selling jersey will be either McKenna or Stenberg with the Canucks win the draft lotto. How did you like? Yeah, I actually talked about it the first whole half of the game. I thought we were okay. Not great. They're too late. But I was surprised that they dominated the stats, the shots and the fancy stats for sure. If McKenna drops, hopefully falls on another first round pick Canucks can get. I don't think he's going to fall that far, though. It kind of feels like 2009 when Tavares, Hedman, and Duchesne kept switching for number one. Oh. You'd prefer to pick second, let someone else make the decision for you. That's a new favorite video. That's awesome. I'm picking McKenna with the Swedish influence in AV42, where you have those guys mentoring. And their tendencies rubbing off on Stenberg. All right, last one, then I have to go. Let's say Vancouver gets third pick and Stenberg and McKenna are taken. Would you get Verhoff? Yeah, I'm not sure if by that time he'll still be best player available. And I know you don't want to shy away from him because the right-hand D. Yeah, if he's far and away the best player available, sure. But if there's another, like one of the wingers that come up, I might look at them instead. And I think it's going to be Besser or Petey. Okay, last thing. Traded to OHL. Yeah, I saw that. Who did he get traded to, actually? I thought it was Prince Albert, but no. Who? Braden Coots trade. Yeah, it is Prince Albert. Isn't Press? He's in the WHL, right? Yeah, 12 players. 4 from Seattle, 8 from Prince Albert. Pretty crazy. And Connor says this season is pretty much over. Okay, friends, I need to go. Yeah, Lawrence is another name that's out there for sure. Okay, I do got to go. I have to get to my church. As I mentioned at the start of the show, I'm filling in for the 12 o'clock person, so I need to make sure that I am not late. Moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovenlander, legendary Brian Choi, legendary Swervin Yrvin, legendary Andrew Chang. Thank you for your support, and thanks to Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, and subscribing. On your way out, like the video, subscribe, leave a late donation. Thanks to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Gaston Art, and Mulligan Golf Company. And thanks to those of you who went above and beyond. Skytrain Alphen uses his monthly membership message. And Dino and Mena come in with a massive dono at $28. Thanks to both of you, all three of you. And then Dino wins. Theirs is 1125. That's what I'm used to seeing. The experience points. Dino wins. Fangirl second with 450. Skytrain Alphen third with 300. Then Simon. Then Justin. Those are your top 5 on the leaderboard tonight. And don't forget, tomorrow night, it is open mic. So come with your best take. And we'll get to it. I'll talk for like a couple minutes, and then I'll try and get on as many people as I can tomorrow. Okay, friends, you guys are awesome. I'm awesome. The Canucks were awesome for 5 minutes. No, they're actually pretty good today, but yeah, they are who they are at this point, and I don't think we should expect anything different, as much as it hurts me to say. No, does it look like I can do security? No, I do a prayer hour from 1 to 2 a.m. Used to be 12 to 1 a.m., but today I'm covering for someone. Okay, friends, see you tomorrow night at my open mic, 11 p.m. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. You know, I was kind of concerned. This morning, I coughed up a pawn, a knight, and a bishop. I think I had a chest infection. A chest infection. God bless. And go Canucks go. Good night. Booyah.